All right, guys, so in this video, we've got with us veteran oceanfront condo investor, Matt Fries. He's going to spill all the juicy details that you want to hear about crazy guest story, nightmare stays, police officers escorting people out of the unit at 3 in the morning. I mean, the crazy stuff that you want to hear about. Matt's going to tell it all. He's going to also share with you how he stops both Airbnb and his guests from getting free stay. Let's get into the video now. So, okay, kind of talk to me a little bit about any kind of legal. Have you had any legal issues with your oceanfront condo at all? Anybody take you to court? Anybody sue you? The government come after you? Any kind of crazy thing?
No, not at all.
What about HOA? Any kind of controversy with the HOAs? People are always harping over, oh, I don't want to stay at, I don't want to invest in an oceanfront condo. The HOA can tell me what I can do.
I mean, so the HOA is also there to protect, to protect your unit, make sure that the property's up to par.
The HOA makes value-added decisions when they're doing things properly. Right. I tell clients that all the time. I'm like, they're saying to me, well, it's $1,200 a month. It's $1,300 a month for the HOA fees. And I'll tell them, I'm like, the people that are on the HOA own at the actual resort. Right. They're not going to want to pay any more money than they have to pay.
Well, and not only that, if you have a problem with the HOA fees, get on the board and go over the HOA fees and understand where the money is going. And if you see somewhere that they can save money, do it.
Tell them.
Right, because overall they're getting bulk services, right? So the cable, the internet, the electricity, the water, the sewage, they're getting a better deal being together than you would individually.
Yeah, that's a very good point. And that's probably something I should start explaining. So they're buying all these services at bulk, the insurance and all that. You're not going to be able to get an insurance quote as cheap as they are.
Right.
Because they're doing it for 100 units as opposed to your one unit.
Right. So overall, like if they would eliminate the bulk services and let you pay for yourself, you're going to be paying more than what your HOA is.
Yeah, it wouldn't be smart for you. The HOA is a very valuable thing. It is an asset in this circumstance. It's going to help you. It should help you more than hurt you. Now, do you foresee any more regulations in the future that could make it harder for short-term rental investors?
In certain states, yes, but in a town that strives off tourism, if they started, basically, if they started cutting out the short-term rentals, there'll be no business here.
Because basically our economy thrives off of tourism. We probably see, I would imagine, and this is just a guess, 70% of our local economy has got to come from tourism. It has to. So, I can only imagine, could you imagine if they cut out tourism in Myrtle Beach?
Right.
We're the #2 vacation destination on the East Coast. You think people are just going to, you think the city's going to be like, no, we need to shut this down?
Right.
It's highly unlikely. In other words, I think that your investment is going to do well here, and it's most likely going to appreciate. In fact, the Myrtle Beach area for the last 3 years has been the fastest growing area out of the 150 most populated areas in the entire United States, according to U.S. News and World Report. You can Google it. We had over 90,600 people move here just last year.
Wow.
Yeah. So we have a year-over-year 6% average annual growth rate. We are, I would imagine that your investment here is going to appreciate very, very well. Now, can we predict the future? No. Can we guarantee profits? No. At the same token, we can look at the historical data and see how well things have done and go, okay, they're most likely going to continue on as they've been doing. Now, real quick, let's just talk real quick about short-term rental platforms like Airbnb and VRBO. Do you think that they're here to stay?
No.
Come on, tell me. Come on.
No, because all right.
You think Airbnb is going to be out of the picture in 5 years?
I don't know out of the picture, but they're going to have they're going to have competition. They are, Google Vacation Rentals is rolling out their stuff. I use Hostaway for that reason, so to get me on Google Vacation Rentals. I get occasional bookings here and there through Google Vacation Rentals, but when people realize, hey, we don't have to go through Airbnb, we go through Google Vacation Rentals where there's no fees. Because right now with Airbnb, I think it's total 18% variance that you're paying, or I think 15% through the guests, and 3% to the owner.
The host, yeah.
Right. So there's 18% there. Google Vacation Rentals is 0.
All right, guys, let's check out the on-site amenities right here at the Grand Cayman. As you can see, there is plenty to do. We got a huge lazy river. Very, very cool. There's a hot tub over there. I'll get over there in just a minute for you to see it. There's some fun over there to the left. Another pool out from under the cover. We got a tiki bar here, and that leads to the Turtle. Those stairs over there lead to the Turtle Bay. Let me just zoom in. Lead to the Turtle Bay Cafe, which they have a great deal on drinks from what I understand. Now here's your lazy river. And you can see in the center there is a nice little hot tub. It is boiling away. And then of course you have some really cool checkers, some life-size checkers and chess over here. And this is just some of the on-site amenities right here at Grand Cayman. There are 2 things that you need when being successful on Airbnb self-managing your own unit. You need a decked out interior, much like this unit right here. A decked out interior, everything's modern, everything's new, everything's fancy. Or you need a great oceanfront view. Now this condo does not necessarily have a great oceanfront view. You can see that there's a building blocking the ocean. Okay, you got a little bit of ocean on one side over here. You've got a little bit of ocean on the other side over here. But you want to make sure that you are having either an excellent updated unit or an oceanfront view if you're going to rake in that gross rental income. And if you want to maximize gross rental income and get into the top 5%, then you want to have both. Now I am excited to talk to you about the Variance right here at the Grand Cayman. Guys, I pulled 5 different units from the last 2 years, 2022 and 2023. We have unit 957 in 2022 that made $43,457. We have unit 757 in 2022 that made $41,988.70. You have unit 861 in 2022 that made $42,618. You have unit 858 again in 2022 that brought in $39,772. And then finally, you have unit 257 in 2023 that brought in $36,479.18. Now, there's a very, very tight range, a tight variance, a close grouping between the lowest number of gross rental income and the highest number of gross rental income in these top performing units. What that tells me is that there is a significant year-over-year demand for the Grand Cayman, so much so that the rents are starting to equalize out among the top competitors. It's definitely something that you want to look for when you're investing in an oceanfront condo, that close grouping of gross rental incomes. You'll notice there's only a $6,978 difference between the lowest number and the highest number that I pulled out of those 5 gross rental incomes. Now, were there lower gross rental incomes on the board? Absolutely. There were plenty of other units that did not do nearly as well. And people are always concerned, they're asking me, well, why would one unit do $20,000 and then another unit do $40-something thousand? What could be the difference? And I often see this variance, and I kind of work through it as I'm helping oceanfront condo investors just like you make a purchase. And guys, there's 2 different CEOs in the same exact industry. You got one CEO that makes that unit soar. You have another CEO that tanks that business. And that's how it works in oceanfront condos. It's that simple and that easy. You have one absentee owner that, sure enough, they pass the property off to a property manager that is not nearly as invested as you are. Now, is that always the case? No. But you could easily imagine that someone else managing your property might not treat it with the same care that you would, might not answer the phone and take those calls with the same and offer the same care, because they're not as invested as you are. They're invested 30 or 40% worth. You're invested all the way. That's your money that you've put into that oceanfront condo. This is in part why I tell all of my clients to self-manage. You definitely want to self-manage. But so, you've got absentee owners, they're passing the property off to a property manager. It's not getting the attention and the marketing that it needs. Does that always happen? No. Are there some great property managers out there? Yes. However, a lot of times when you see these low gross rental income numbers, it's because of absentee ownership. You've got people that just really want to use it. They're not really in the game. They're like that CEO that is just, at the will of his ship, not really checking the market, not proactive on pricing, not really engaged in what they're doing. And if you want to be a stellar CEO and manage your oceanfront condo unit well, then you definitely need to stay on top of the short-term rental game in our market. And you can do that by plugging right into the ShoreWise Wealth YouTube channel right here. I'm going to keep you updated with tons of educational content and keep you in the know, giving you all the tips and tricks, teaching you just how you need to manage your oceanfront condo investment. Click the screen now to see the next part of the interview with Matt Fries.